Hello. Again, today is Monday, May 8th. It is 12:13 p.m., 2023. I am now about to call Human Rights to make a complaint against Child Protection Department of Social Development. I received a call on Friday from Cassie MacDougall, and she said at the request of her supervisor, they wanted to meet with me on Wednesday of this week and provide them with my private and personal medical information. So I don't know why Child Protection wants this, and I believe it's a violation of my rights. So I'm going to call Human Rights New Brunswick and ask them.
Human Rights Commission, bonjour.
Yes, I am looking to file a complaint against Child Protection and Department of Social Development because they have requested me to provide them with my private and personal medical information.
We wouldn't be able to accept a complaint based on that.
Why not?
So I'm going to explain. With the New Brunswick Human Rights Act, you could file a complaint if you're saying that they were discriminating because of your age, sex, religion, or because you have a disability, sexual orientation, that kind of thing.
And that's what they're doing. They told me that they plan on recommending my children not be returned to me in compliance with the court order from the family court, which I called the courthouse to verify.
I'm going to have to interrupt you sometimes, okay? And has this gone before the court?
Yes, and I have joint shared custody. The children are being kept from me in contravention of a court order, which I've already reported to the RCMP, and they have opened a file to investigate.
But you're going on to something else, and I need to focus a bit.
Okay. The focus is they said they were going to recommend that my children not be returned to me until I provide them with my private and personal medical information.
What is it that they're asking for?
They're looking for my medical information.
What kind of information are you looking for?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them, but they're asking for my private and personal medical information, and apparently they're planning on recommending my children not be returned to me in compliance with the court order, which I do have shared custody.
So this is where, what do you mean they not be returned in compliance with the court order?
Well, I have a court order. I have a court order that says I have joint shared custody of my children.
Mm-hmm.
They conducted an investigation on reports.
No, stop for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's not that there was a court order that your children not be returned.
Yes, there is.
There's a court order saying your children should not be returned?
No, they're recommending my children not be returned, and they're not going to close their investigation until I provide them my private medical records.
Okay. So that's not a situation where we're looking at discrimination because of a disability.
Well, I've been diagnosed with acute anxiety, major depression, and other mental health issues, which is why they're stating they're recommending my children not be returned to me until they review my files. So again,
I'm going to ask you to slow down, please.
Okay.
So what I'm doing today is I'm explaining what we do, and I'm not going to have an argument with you on whether or not they're right or they're wrong. Just explaining what we do. And regarding these issues, we don't have jurisdiction.
What do you mean you don't have jurisdiction?
So if you want to file a complaint, you can fill out a form and submit your complaint and have that formally assessed. And they will tell you whether or not this is something that falls under the New Brunswick Human Rights Act.
Okay, and I'd like to do that.
And if you want the forms, you can either get them from our website, or we can send them to you by email, or send you printed forms by regular mail.
Email would be great, because I just tried to get on your website, and it's...
What's your name?
Bill Edgett.
Bill Edgett. And what's your email address?
W. Edgett.
W. Edgett.
11.
Can you spell number 11?
Yep.
Okay.
At hotmail.com.
At hotmail.com.
Yep.
Okay, and so what I'll do is I'll send you out the forms.
Mm-hmm.
And you can file your complaint.
Okay.
Now, once we get your forms, you can expect to wait maybe about 30 days for a response.
Okay.
And it just depends on our workload, and they will advise you whether or not we're able to accept it.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
And I'll send those out sometime today. You're welcome.
All right, great. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so now the forms will be sent to me via email. I'll fill them out. So again, I just contacted the courthouse, and apparently there has been no action on my family court case since December, which means that the intervention that is now, I was told, was going to take place by Child Protection and their recommendation that children not be returned to me, has not gone through the courts. No applications have been to the courts, and I don't know who they're informing or talking to keep the children away from me. So I'm supposed to pick my children up tonight in compliance with a court order for custody and access. And if they're not there, I would like to know if Child Protection played a part in helping to keep the children away from me in contravention of a court order, which is a violation of Section 282 of the Criminal Code of Canada. I have the communications with Cassie MacDougall recorded, stating that this was going to be the recommendation of her and her supervisor until they had a meeting with me on Wednesday of this week, and I provided them with my private and personal medical records, which I do not believe they're entitled to. And I've already allowed 2 social workers to come to my home to investigate the allegations against me, and they've cleared me of those allegations, which again, she documented in the recording, or the phone call I had that's recorded. Now they're again still saying, well, we're not going to allow the children to return to you until you provide us with your private medical records. So again, they're discriminating against me and helping to keep my children away from me in contravention of a court order under Section 282 of the Criminal Code of Canada, if, in fact, they are not returned to me at 6 p.m. this evening.